Hello Janelle.
Hi Kelly.
So I am joined today by Janelle Scialla and we are talking about crystals, funnily enough. And
Imagine that.
why would we do that? Well, I don't know. Well, Janelle is the principal of the Earthworks School for the Healing Arts, and so who else would we want to talk to? So Janelle, I suppose the first question I'd really like to ask is how did you discover crystal healing?
How on earth did I get into crystal healing? Well, I have a kind of odd, I've listened to other people's stories and usually there's this moment of revelation where suddenly, oh my God, look what crystals can do. But with me it was a bit different. I grew up in New Mexico.
Wow.
And it's sandy and arid and desert and mountainous, and there are mines everywhere, and you can just go walking out in the desert and you find crystals lying
Sounds
there.
beautiful.
So stunning. And I got into picking them up and collecting them at the age of 7. So I have been collecting crystals since I was very small. So I pulled a few crystals out of my collection just to demonstrate. This is very naughty. This is a piece of vesicular basalt. This is part of a lava flow. And it was in a, I can't remember the name of the park, but a national park. You're not supposed to pick up stones in national parks.
Don't admit anything.
Yeah. It found its way into my pocket when I was 7, and I still have it, and I use it when I teach, so I think it's a good thing. I also have always been attracted to sparkly, so this is a lovely piece of lepidolite. I don't remember where I got this, but it's been in my collection since I was very little.
As a little girl you would see that and you would want it, wouldn't you?
Fairy dust, yes, definitely. And I also, because I was so into minerals when I was little, I know this is huge. This is, I'm not sure what it's on, but the whole rock is encrusted with Bingham blue fluorite, and I've had this since I was about the same age, and it was given to me by somebody who'd come to visit my parents. So people used to bring me crystals instead of sweeties. That's how
Sounds perfect.
into it I was. I still have another piece of Bingham blue, this one that I use in my practice all the time. I use it with clients all the time. It is a lovely fluorite, I have to say. But I was so geeky that I did a science fair project on the crystal systems, like as in their shape, when I was 10. So this has been a lifelong obsession. This started very, very young. I suspect I probably collected crystals before I remember it, before the age of 7. Always had crystals around me, always had them in my, always had a collection, had them when I came over here from the States. I still brought things with me, but kind of outgrew the fascination and the wonder of the crystals until I did what happens to a lot of people who get into healing. In my late 30s, I had a real major crisis, and it was on every level: health, emotional, you name it. My whole life was falling apart, and it guided me into healing, but initially into healing as opposed to crystal therapy. But I found that as I was working, I started automatically picking crystals up and using them without knowing that they had a history or what they would do. And then after a while began to understand there was something called crystal healing or crystal therapy. So I then did some training, and then I did some more training. So this is how I got into it, but it was kind of it was a gradual thing as a result of a lifelong obsession.
It sounds like you were guided into it though from a very early age, and then almost like, and you entered in the science more area and then brought it back into the healing area.
And I have also brought the science into the healing. So that
really
is
important.
Yeah, that has become something I'm very, very interested in, looking very deeply into how things work on a looking at the chemistry, the physics, the mineralogy, and applying that to how they work. So the more I do it and the more I look into it, the deeper I can go with the way I use crystals, because I'm finding that they they can work subtly on so many levels.
Absolutely. Well, this is brilliant to learn.